Screen test, take 1, Izatul.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all candidates. Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. So I think it has been our greatest success that political stability is because Malaysia is very peaceful because it has a little civil unrest. For example, there are no crime that is very dangerous that I can say right now, and then it have stable government. For example, Malaysia can ensure that the government can take lead to the people, and government also believe that youth will follow the rules that they stated. Next point is it is free democratic elections, which is people can choose freely for their political, which is they want to choose what the side that they want, and it can make the people feel free to choose what they want, such as attractive to foreign investor, which bets where.
Screen test, take 1, Azahra Halim.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. So, in my opinion, economy success has been our greatest success since Malaysia has achieved its 55 years of independence. The reason I said so is because of our strong economic growth. As you can see nowadays, there is a lot of low unemployment in Malaysia. As you can see, every class of people nowadays have job. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are in a low class or a middle class. Everyone has their own job. For my second point, I believe that Malaysia has strong currency that leads to strong stock exchange that makes a lot of foreigners invested in Malaysia. For example, we have visit Malaysia 2014, so many tourists have invested in our country through tourism. And for my last point is diversified economy. But the variety of economy in Malaysia makes us sustain our economy success. So for the conclusion, I really believe that economy success is our greatest success since Malaysia have achieved its 55 years of independence. Thank you.
Screen test, take 2, Azahra Halim.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. I believe that economic success has been our greatest success since Malaysia had achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. The reason I state so is because we have a strong economic growth, which leads to low unemployment.
Take 3, Azahra Halim.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. So I believe that economic success has been our greatest success since Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. The reason I said so is because Malaysia now have a strong economic growth, which we have a low unemployment. For instance, every class of people nowadays have job. So it doesn't matter if you are in the low class, in the middle class, everybody have their own job. For my second point, I believe that Malaysia have strong currency, which leads to strong stock exchange. As you can see, that many foreigners nowadays have invested in Malaysia, and recently we have visited Malaysia 2014, which made a lot of tourists come to Malaysia and invested through tourism. And for my last point is diversified economy. In Malaysia, we have variety of economy such as agriculture, tourism and manufacturing. This variety of economy makes Malaysia sustain its economic success. And as for the conclusion, I believe that economic success is our greatest success since Malaysia achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. Thank you.
Screen test take 1 Umi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. I bid to the examiners and to all the candidates. Okay, the topic was given today is what Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. So I have 3 points with me. First, actually 2 points with me.
Don't look at me, look at the camera.
Okay.
Screen test take 2 Umi.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to the IB, to the examiners and to all the candidates. The topic was given to me today is what Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. So I have 2 points with me. First, the excellent world-class institution of learning, and second is free schooling. Okay, for the first point, actually Malaysia really has an excellent education system. You can see a lot of university and college in Malaysia. And for free schooling, actually kids are going to success because they are exposed with a lot of education system, especially from foreign teacher. So for me, to sum up everything, Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence is because we have a country that is largely literate and something that we can be proud of.
Screen test take 1 Nadia.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. The topic that I've been given is Malaysia have been achieved many achievements in
Screen test take 2 Nadia.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon for everyone. Malaysia have been independent in 55 years, and there's a lot of achievement that Malaysia have been achieved. Okay, as I can see, the greatest achievement that Malaysia have been achieved is racial harmony. I would like to give 2 reasons for my point, which is citizens live in freedom and harmony, and other races can unite and against racism. For my first point is Malaysians live in freedom and harmony. As we know that Malaysia is the multicultural country, so there are a lot of races in Malaysia like Malay, Indian and Chinese. So they can celebrate the festival together without fight and without feeling mad with everyone. Okay, furthermore, for the next point is Malaysian live in united. So as I said, united is because as we know that Malaysian live in multicultural country, so they can unite with other races and not being biased with other culture. They can live in peace and can help with other races. So in my conclusion, racial harmony is the greatest success that has been achieved in Malaysia due to the freedom and united citizens.
Screen test take 3 Umi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I bid to the examiner and to all the candidates. Today the topic was given to me is what Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. So I have 2 points with me. The first one is excellent world-class institution of learning, and my second point is free schooling, I mean the government. Okay, for the first point, why I said that, because a lot of college and university in Malaysia that have been teaching from okay.
Screen test take 4 Umi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I bid to the examiner and to all the candidates. Today the topic was given to me is what Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. So I have 2 points with me. The first is excellent world-class institution of learning, and second is free schooling. By the government. Okay, for the excellent world-class institution of learning, it's a lot of college and uni in Malaysia that been teaching from a teacher that really educated. And from free schooling, many kids choose this because it's going to expose them, because the teachers that teach them is a lot from foreign. So to sum up why Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years, because Malaysia have a country that is largely literate and something that we can be proud of.
Screen test take 5 Umi.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, IB to the examiners and to all the candidates. Okay, so today the topic was given to me is what Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. So I have 2 points with me. The first is excellent world-class institution of learning, and the second one is free schooling. For the excellent world-class institution of learning, there are lots of college and university in Malaysia that been teaching from a teacher that really good in education. For example, Lim Kok Wing, they are really famous with art and media. And for next, University Malaya is the oldest university in Malaysia. And for the free schooling, it's by the government. Many kids choose this because they're going to success, because they expose with a lot of education from foreign teacher. So in conclusion, Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence is because we have a country that is largely literate and something that we can be proud of.
Screen test take 1 Nick Faris.
Assalamualaikum and a very pleasant day. Today I have been given a topic which discuss about the key problem that is.
Screen test take 2 Nick Faris.
Assalamualaikum and a very pleasant day. So today's topic I'll be talking about one of the problem that is still a threat in Malaysia. So from what I see, I believe that the ever increasing crime rate is one of the main problems. Why? Because recently there are various crimes that are still happening in Malaysia. I can name a few, such as raping, murdering, and the recent ones, plane hijacking. Stop.
Screen test take 3 Nick Faris.
Assalamualaikum and a very pleasant day. So today's topic, I'll be talking about the problem that is still the key threat to Malaysia. And in my stand, I believe that the increasing number of crime is the key.
Screen test take 4 Nick Faris.
Assalamualaikum and a very pleasant day. So guys, I have a question for you. Why you think that
Screen test take 1 An-Nur.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, today I want to talk about the problem of over-dependence on foreign workers in our country. Okay, there are 3 reasons that can support my answer of this problem. Okay, the first one is citizens of Malaysia cannot find a job in our country. If this happens, there will be no workers in Malaysia. There will be no work for graduate on all over the country. Universities in.
Screen test take 2 Anu.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Okay, today I want to talk about the problem of over dependence of foreign workers in our country. Okay, there are three reasons that can support my answer about this problem. Okay, the first one is that we lack of skill in Malaysia. Okay, when we lack on skill in Malaysia, the companies in Malaysia will depend on foreign workers. Okay, then if this happen, there will be no work for people in Malaysia. Okay, the second one is that the amount of foreign workers exceeded the need of workers that our country need. Okay, if this excessive, the immigrant of another country flow in non-stop in our country, they will be they will demand many things on us. Okay, they need a right as equally as citizen in Malaysia. Okay, the third one is that citizen of Malaysia cannot find a job. Okay, if this happen, the graduate from the universities will not have a job in the future. If this happen, there will be a high rate of poverty in our country. Okay, in conclusion, I think that Malaysia need to urgently address of this problem. Thank you very much.
Screen test take 6 Umi.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I bid to the examiners and to all the candidates. Okay, today the topic was given to me is what Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence. Okay, so I have 2 points with me. The first one is excellent world-class institution of learning, and the second point is trained staff. For the first point, I would like to say there's a lot of college and university in Malaysia that been teaching from a teacher that's really educated in education. For example, Lim Kok Wing is really famous with art and media, and University Malaya is the oldest university in Malaysia. For the trained staff, government pick foreign teacher because the student who pick the foreign teacher are going to success because they're exposed with a lot educational system that are really systematic. For the example, as we can see, the percentage of students who take public examination become raised year by year. So, in conclusion, Malaysia has achieved a great deal in 55 years of independence is because we have a country that is largely literally and something that we can be proud of.
Assalamualaikum.
Screen test take 1 Yusuf.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Now, with 55 years of prosperity in Malaysia, there is some problem that we need to urgently address. I think that it is the depletion of natural resources. Now, and here's my reason why. Firstly,
Screen test take 2 Yusuf.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. With 55 years of prosperity in Malaysia, we have faced some problems that need to urgently address. I think that the depletion of natural resources are one of the case, and here are my 3 reasons why. First, that the depletion of petrol, oil, tin, and many other resources will indirectly make the price go higher, and thus make the economy drop and the people will suffer. And secondly, is that with such we have to buy a raw product with depending on the market and cost, and thus the economy will suffer and the people will trouble with finance. Thirdly and lastly, the depletion of natural resources such as the forest and depletion will cause a landslide, floods. You can see this with the Kelantan event with the floods, right? And in conclusion, the problem that needs to be urgently addressed is mostly in the depletion of natural resources.
Screen test take 3 Yusuf.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. I think the depletion of natural resources need to be urgently addressed, and here's my 3 reasons why. Firstly, the depletion of oil, petroleum and many other resources will cause the price to go higher and higher until it will continue no more. Second is that the price that we have to pay will go higher, and thus the economy will hurt and people of the Malaysia will be finance problem. And thirdly and lastly is that with the depletion of natural resources such as with forest depletion, flood will rise and the landslide occur with many more. You can see this in Kelantan event recently. And in conclusion, the depletion of natural resources need to be urgently addressed. Thank you.
Screen test take 4 Yusuf.
Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to everyone. With 55 years of prosperity in Malaysia, we have achieved some greatness and also problems that need to be urgently addressed. I think that the depletion of resources need to be urgently addressed, and here's my 3 reasons why. Firstly, with the depletion of oil, petrol, tin and much more will cause the price to go higher and higher until there are no more resources. Secondly, that the price market will rise and thus the economy will hurt, and therefore the people will be finance problem. And third and lastly, for my final point is that that the depletion of natural resources is that deforestation. With less and less forest, it will cause the flood to rise and the occurrence of landslide and the air will worsen. You can see this with Kelantan events recently just happened. And thus this conclude my point in the depletion of natural resources. Thank you.
Screen test take 1 Iqmal.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. It is in my belief that the biggest problem that needs to be urgently addressed in Malaysia right now is brain drain, and there are 3 reasons to support my belief. Firstly, the brain drain will help create an incentive to hire more foreigners from other countries to develop our infrastructure and our economy, and that is not a good sign. My second point is that I believe that with the transference of our highest intellectual in our country to another country will create a problem in our country, that it will hamper the economical growth and intellectual growth in our country. My third point is that I believe that with the transference of the highest intellectual to another country, it will create this image of Malaysia that it lacks security, that it lacks a better research facility, a better educational center, and the low wages. So, as a conclusion, I believe that the biggest problems that needs to be urgently addressed in Malaysia is brain drain, because it will hamper growth and economy mostly.
Screen test take 2 Iqmal.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. It is in my belief that the biggest problem that it needs to be urgently addressed in Malaysia is brain drain. There are 3 reasons to support my belief. Firstly, with the transference of our highest intellectual to another country will help create incentive from the government to hire more foreigners to work in our development of economical and infrastructural growth, and this is not a good sign. My second point is that with brain drain, it will create a problem in Malaysia in that it hampers the economical growth, and in turn it will create an image that Malaysia lacks economical infrastructure. My third point is that I believe that with the transference of our highest intellectual to another country will make an incentive from the government to hire more.
Okay. Screen test take 3 Iqmal.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. It is in my belief that the biggest problem that needs to be urgently addressed in Malaysia is brain drain, and there are 3 reasons to support my belief. Firstly, it is in my belief that with the transference of our highest intellectual to another country will create an incentive from the government to hire more foreigners to help with the economical and infrastructural growth of Malaysia, and that is not a good sign. My second point is that with brain drain, it will hamper the economical growth and infrastructural growth by transferring our highest intellectual to another country. My third point is that with the transference of our highest intellectual to another country will also help create this image that Malaysia is weak in terms of research facility, in terms of wages, in terms of economic, and there isn't any incentive to come to Malaysia. So, as a conclusion, I believe that the biggest problems that needs to be urgently addressed in Malaysia is brain drain, because it will greatly hamper the growth of Malaysia. So that is my opinion on the matter. Thank you.
Screen test take 4 Nifaris.
Assalamualaikum, very pleasant days. So guys, why do you think that the increasing crime rate needs to be urgently addressed? Well, in my case, I have several reasons why I say so. Firstly, the various crime in Malaysia.
Screen test take 5 Nifaris.
Assalamualaikum, very pleasant day. So guys, why do you think the increasing crime rate needs to be urgently addressed? Well, in my case, I have several reasons why I say so. Firstly, if you all notice, there have been several cases already happening around Malaysia. For instance, raping, murdering, and even the recent ones, plane hijacking. Secondly, I believe that the crime is the cause for social deterioration. Let's take a look. For example, rape. Rape can happen among any one of us. Just imagine if our friends rape us. So the cause is that it leads to distrust among others. The next one will be, we need to increase the power of the authority and the enforcement. Why? Because due to the uncontrollable increase of crime, it is to show that Malaysia is very vulnerable and very weak, especially in terms of security. And the reason why enforcement needs to be tighter is to ensure that these things will never happen again in future times. So overall, I believe that the crime rate that is currently increasing in Malaysia needs to be urgently addressed. Thank you.
Screen test take 1 Wafishe.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to all. The question by given is it today youth creating an obsession with their own weight, which results in increase in eating disorder. And I think the best way to overcome this is compulsory to school to have a health science and grooming classes in schools. This point I will pinpoint 3, which is to teach you about BMI, which is body mass index, and number 2 is to create how to be healthy subject, another one to teacher compulsory to tell the student is healthy is more important than beauty. So the first point about body mass index is it's important to student know what is their what we call maximum or minimum weight to target. For the first point. Another point is many students are healthy not in a healthy way. So the subject of how to be healthy help the student how to be healthy in a good way. So last point is compulsory for teachers to teach the student that healthy is more important than beauty. All beauty people is not always healthy, and all healthy people is always beauty. So for the conclusion, I must say that the best way to overcome the eating disorder is by compulsory the health and science grooming classes in schools. That's all for now. I'm going to work with.
Screen test take 1, Hanis National.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. I greet to everyone. Today I would like to talk about creating an obsession with their own weight, which results in an increasing in eating disorder. I suggest that ultra-thin people are not allowed to work as models in the movies. It is because, first, I strongly agree that it will be a role model for them. Sekali lagi.
Screen test take 2, Hanis.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon I greet to everyone. Today I would like to talk about obsession with their own weight, which results in increasing in eating disorder. I suggest that one of the ways to overcome these problems is by ultra-thin people should not be allowed to work as models in advertisement and in movies. I have two main reasons. Because first, it will trigger the hearts of the people to follow the lead. Second, it will cause eating disorder. And the third one, it will cause
Screen test take 3, Hanis National.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon I greet to everyone. Today I would like to talk about obsession with their own weight, which results in increasing in eating disorders. One of the ways to overcome these problems is ultra-thin people are not allowed to work as models in advertisements and also in movies. I have 3 strong reasons why. Firstly, because it will cause eating disorder in the youth, which means the youth are, for example, the fat one, they will have bulimia, and for the thin one they have anorexia, which will make them become sick and become maybe too thin and maybe too big. Okay, for the second one is it will trigger the heart to follow everything that the model eats. What do they take in sports and everything. For my third point is it will cause fatigue, which means no energy. Ultra-thin models, they could not do heavy activities such as weighting weight and running. So as a conclusion, I think that ultra-thin movies, thin people are not allowed to work as a model in advertisement and also in movies.
Screen test take 1, Naimullah.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. The best way to overcome the eating disorder problem is to give the youth the religious and spiritual education to them. It is in my belief that solid grounding in religious will ensure that the teenagers nowadays will have a good values such as self-respect and
Screen test take 2, Naimullah.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. The best way to prevent eating disorder amongst the teenagers is to give them a spiritual and religious education. This is because it is in my belief that solid grounding in religious will ensure the teenagers have the moral values such as self-respect. And usually the people who are obsessed with eating disorder, lack of religious education and spiritual education. And because my second point is, in most of the religions in the world, they teach us to eating.
And cut. Screen test 1, take 1, Dayat.
Assalamualaikum to all the candidates. I believe that the media should broadcast more reality show based on skill and talent rather than the show that based on physical beautiness. This is because youth nowadays are influenced by the beautiness of the model and intend to follow their shape and make their eating style are not healthy. So when the media broadcast more reality program that based on skill and talent, the youth will appreciate more on the talent of the scientists. And secondly, I think that reality programs such as Mythbuster will help the youth to be more innovative and creative and will forget about the body beautiness. And thirdly, the reality programs such Ninja Warrior will encourage the youth to appreciate their body strength and endurance than the teen model shape. And I believe that the media should show the reality program that based on skill and talent, and this is because the youth will not obsessed with the body weight.